Welcome back. I'm Wade Kersey with Mikeemerygolf. Today we're going to talk about proper impact position. But before we go there, let's go back to the first video and talk about the grip. I'll bet many of you sat there and watched that and said, wait a minute, Hogan didn't do it that way. Hogan's book said he had a short left thumb. Well, I've done a bunch of research and looked at every image I can find of Mr. Hogan, and almost without fail, every single picture of him, there's a gap in that thumb. And in dark photos and black and white photos, you can see the shadow underneath it. So there are some that say he wrote that book himself, others that say he had assistants, but I can't find any pictures of him like this. For sure, regardless of the length of his thumb though, look at the pictures at the top of the swing and see how parallel the shaft is to those line of knuckles. Okay, so let's talk about impact position. Impact position, interestingly, and we'll be sharing some still images with you throughout this video. Here's what's interesting about common theme and common belief in golf. When I stand here in an address position, my forearms are basically facing roughly at 45-degree angles. See that? This direction, this direction. The proper position at impact, however, isn't there. It's actually here. Now when I make that position, and we talked about how we square the club early, and now we're in this position here for impact. Flexion in the left wrist, but the right forearm, or left forearm, is facing downward, whereas the right forearm is facing upward. So let me recap. They were facing about in neutral angles this way. Now, the left is down and the right is up. So I ask you, if that's address and that's impact, why would we ever have taught someone to do this? Well, the greats didn't. As you see how they approach impact, you'll notice that on through, when the ball is long gone, the right arm is still skyward, the left one is still rotated inward towards the center line of the body. That's a very, very important fundamental to understand. As you square the club early, you're now going to get to a flexion position at impact, right arm up, and then what we would call the release after the ball's gone is simply the straightening of the right wrist. So think about how much more square you are throughout, prior to, during, and after impact in doing so. And what's interesting is you can stay there throughout the finish. Mike's approach is very unique in that he tells you, as unique to you, you can do different things within your swing. If I kept my arms in that same position, with the right rotated away from my body and the left rotated towards my body, and I kept it there through impact to there, does that image look familiar? I'll share some pictures with you to get that point across. So, get ready for straighter, more consistent ball flights. Get comfortable with flexion to square the club face, and get comfortable with the right arm up, left arm down, on through impact, and let this straightening of the right wrist be your release thought. Until next time, follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Mikeemerygolf and Mikeemerygolf.com. Buy the book.